Hi, I am Dimitri from Silver & Young Private Wealth, and I'd like to welcome you to a new episode of Behind the Wealth podcast. We explore, investigate, and analyze topics of wealth creation. Hello and welcome to the new episode Behind the Wealth. Today's subject it is how we can ensure our future income, and the second part is how we can increase the capacity of earning and why we want these 2 points to be explored a bit further up. Don't forget, following up from the previous episode, we make an income, we try to save 10% from the top line, we control the expenses, we invest the money to a meaningful way so we can produce more passive income. And what we try to do in the future is to increase the amount of passive income as the time going past, so to decrease the reliance on active income or active related income for us to achieve a retirement or to achieve an income that we don't really need to go to work 9 to 5, except if we really want to do that because we enjoy it. So this is not going to happen in straight away in a few short years. For most of us, it will take probably some time, usually 20 years or so, and a bit more, to achieve that passive income. It depends, of course, how much successful we are, how aggressive we are, and how our investments turn up to do well in the future if we don't have any missteps. So the main thing is to ensure our income for future. And this is not like an insurance, like income protection. This is another subject for another matter, for another podcast. This is really, as I said again, to ensure that our future income mostly is coming from not active effort from our part, but is coming more passively income. For example, you have $1 million of funds in a share portfolio. So the passive income roughly could be 5.5% return. So you receive $55,000 every year as a passive income from that portfolio. So it doesn't really matter if you go and work for wages or for salary or in your business, your $55,000 has to come to your bank account and contribute to your total pool of assets for your retirement or for whatever you want to do with your life. Now, I just want to concentrate on increase the capacity of earning. A lot of times what we think it is and what we concentrate, it's we make a lot of effort in the early stage. So we finish school, we go to be an apprentice or a tradesperson, we go to university or to TAFE, and we try to get a piece of paper that they say we are trained in this particular field as an engineer, as an accountant, as a solicitor, as a doctor, as a plumber, as a carpenter, and then we go and practice that. So the majority of the effort is from really the school days, or especially the last 2-3 years of HSC or of the high school, to the next 5-6 years after finish school, to get these certificates and to get these qualifications. And then slowly we go to a job, and somehow the concentration of increasing our wages or our salary, it is still there. But then what it happens, we concentrate more on how we can save more and how we can invest more and how we can do better with this money. So my point is today, we need to increase our capacity for earn. And a lot of times people think the capacity to earn is only by increasing our technical skills. It is, but it's not the only reason you can increase your capacity to earn. And I'll give you an example. anyone who wants to employ someone, or anyone who wants to have a colleague or be a partner, what it makes the other person attractive, how valuable is to me or to this business, this relation with my employee or my partner. And this is not just in business world. This is in every relationship. I mean, in spouses, in friendships, in colleagues, in around a different, more wide environment as a social environment. So the more you are increasing your capacity, your value to others, the more you are become more attractive to get a better wages, to get a better salary, or to get a better percentage in a partnership, because the people see value in you. And the value in you is not just the technical part. It is also your as a person. And that's what I'm concentrating now, because it's no brainer. If I'm an accountant and I'm finished TAFE in a bookkeeping job, a bookkeeping certificate 3 or 4, whatever it is, I'd be less valuable than someone who has a degree and the same years experience of me, and will be probably less valuable than someone who is a CA or CPA, chartered accountant or certified practicing accountant, and he has the same time of experiences with me. Or are we less valuable than someone who has a master's in tax or a master's in business than me just doing debits and credits with a limited qualification and experience? So this is common sense. But what also I want to say, it is you increase your value as a person who contributes to a business by other means. So for example, how you serve your client, how you interact with other people, how you become a team member and a team leader in that area that you're working, your emotional intelligence, how you interpreted the other person quickly enough and understand what is all about and what is important to him or her as colleague or as a client or as a customer. Which points are important, easy to be identified, that important to the other person, and make sure you address this first before you're addressing the other peripheral points. And this needs skill. Also, all of us, we need to increase our ability to sell, because you sell yourself every day in every interaction between you and your client, between you and your customer, between you and your colleagues. And I'm not saying hard selling, I'm saying the sale of who you are real. Because if it is not real and you don't sell who you are real, then somehow the other people are going to find, especially the people who are close to you, and they interact with you more than once or more than twice in the product life that you're selling. So it is important for you to improve yourself, because if you don't improve yourself first, you can't really add value to the other person, because you can fake it once, you can fake it twice, but you cannot fake it forever. Somehow we'll catch up with you. So what I'm trying to say, you need to improve your technical skills. That's extremely important. But also you need to improve your person as a person, your inner self. You need to improve your emotional intelligence. You need to improve yourself to have a better understanding of other people, how they react and how they interact. And when you see a problem, don't cast straight away the decision that he is a difficult person, he's a difficult customer. Don't do this first. Do first what I didn't do enough for him or her to understand my point of view. What I didn't do enough for him or her to see my point. Maybe I didn't address what was important for that person. Um, and of course, all this stuff, it is all relevant to your values and relevant to who you are and who you want to be at the end of the journey as you grow older and older. And there is no correct or right in that matter. I remember years ago, I met someone that we started working together. this is a long story. It was a story probably 30 years ago. And we started to do exactly the same job. But I just employed to do the job 2, 3 months, and he was doing the job for 30 years. And then on that day, the particular employer did a special presentation representing to this gentleman who is going to retirement with a piece of paper, congratulations, an award, and I think was a golden watch or something like this, an expensive watch, and all the staff members and all the people in this particular organization had the 10 minutes off and presented the award. And then I realized the next day when I was working next to him that we're getting exactly the same wages. And I've asked the person, I mean, how long do you do the job? He said, oh, I am on this particular area 10 years. And before that, I was 10 years. And before that, another 10 years, roughly, or 15 years. And I said, wow, so you are in this area 10 years. And I thought to myself, I just came yesterday, 2, 3 months, and I get exactly the same money as this person that he was doing that particular job for the last 10 years. It couldn't work for me that I will stay for 10 years on the same exactly job, doing exactly the same thing, and then just get exactly the same money as someone comes to do exactly the same job like me. But of course, it is understandable. I was doing and I was producing the same output that he did, but just they trained me, I did this, I produced the output 2 months later, so I got the same wages like him. It's understandable. But I'll ask him, why you didn't go to the next level, to be a team leader, to be a supervisor? And he didn't want, he didn't have the desire. Is wrong? Nothing is not wrong. But the wrong thing is this person to be disappointed that he didn't go to the next level of wealth compared to someone who is a bit more ambitious and more hungry and more takes more risk on his or her life. I was driving back on that day and I thought, I don't really want to be that person. Although it's an extremely nice person and everyone loved him, obviously he was a very good-hearted person, but I could not stay in the same job for 35 years and taking the award wages that was entitled because I produced this particular outcome. And of course, that's how I interpreted myself, and I wanted to draft my life different than that person. The other thing I want to make a point is that everyone, when we come us in a particular area, I mean, we come to this world, we allocated a piece of, say, land that we need to cultivate and we need to produce our income for the future income. A lot of people, they lose a lot of time by watching what other people do, the neighbor, what the right person does, what the left person wants, what the one behind him does, what the one before in front of him does. And I found that this is very destructive. And I know it found this destructive because I went through that process many times during my lifetime. And it is destructive because it takes energy of you and you say, oh, look, he did this. Why I didn't do that? But the reality is you need constantly to improve your technical skills, yourself as a person by self-development, your skills as a person, how you interact, how you talk, how you communicate, how you write, how you present, how you do public speaking, how you dress, how you present yourself in a physical manner, to improve yourself all the time. And then don't compare yourself between yourself and other people around you. Compare yourself between what you achieved today and what you were yesterday. And of course, this is not my idea. And whatever I say here, it is not entirely my idea. It just is ideas of different people with my own words. And this particular idea, because it's recent in my mind, it was from Jordan Peterson, 12 Rules of Life, a psychologist, Canadian, psychiatrist, Canadian doctor that he written, and he has thousands of YouTubes. You can check him out. But I was really impressed by this particular point, because you really cannot compare yourself with someone else, because you don't know the full story of the other person, where you came from exactly, what he's motivating him to achieve what he does, what his set values and what risk he's happy to take, what short corners does, cut corners does to achieve what he wants to achieve that you are not prepared to do. So really comparing yourself with someone else, it is the wrong idea. But comparing what you were yesterday and today, and there is an improvement, this is, I think, it's a more healthy path. Of course, it is very difficult this to happen, and I'm guilty of that many, many times, I have to admit. And it's not easy not to do it. But this is a more healthy and more correct way to do it, to improve yourself and compare yourself what improvement you had in the last year or two compared to today, and then move on. The other thing I want to make sure that I just mentioned for increase our capacity to earn is we plan our lives and we plan our professional life a lot less in detail than we plan a holiday. And this is also, again, I've read it in a book in a Greek language that a colleague of mine gave me, recommended to me a few months ago, to doro, which means the gift. Unfortunately, it's not in English translation as yet. And he makes a point that we plan our holidays more in detail than our life. And I thought that's a very good expression, because when you plan holidays, you plan when you're going to take your holidays, what day you start and what day you come back to work, who are you going to go with, you're going to go by car or by plane or by sea. If you go overseas, what foreign exchange you need to do, where you're going to stay, where you're going to see, what you're going to do, who is with you, who you want to go and see. But our lives, we don't plan it like this so much. We just somehow plot along and we go ahead. And it was an interesting survey that Harvard University did a survey for people who are at uni time, what they want financially from their career. And only 3% of these Harvard University students had a detailed plan what they want to achieve for their career. And they came many, many years later, I can't remember how many years, but say 20 years later, and they found that these 3% had an enormous amount more wealth, because we're talking only money, only financial, nothing else. That's what survey about. A lot more financial strength than the 97% altogether. So it means that if you don't really plan and have it in a piece of paper, life takes you in a different places and you miss the boat and you don't concentrate and you don't have a focus. Okay, today I am in this job because I'm improving and not just I'm taking more money. Or maybe I don't take extra money, but I have a vast improvement in my technical knowledge and environment and the skills, and the money will follow. Because money usually follows the uplifting of skills in a personal level and in the technical. But sometimes, especially the younger generation, are too fast, too quick to demand the money before really a substantial increase in their skills. I mean, sometimes the markets are allowed to do that, and well done. But most of the time, in the long run, you need really to achieve that first, and then you don't need to demand, because you are too valuable for the other person to let you go, and he wants or she wants you to be with his or her organization as an employee, as a partner, as an associate, whatever it is your relation, or as a supplier. So what is the moral of the story of today's podcast? We want to increase, number one, and ensure that over a period of time, our passive income replaces the active income that we get from day to day. So we come one time, some people a bit earlier if they started very young, and some people a bit later if we started a bit later in life. the account that this active goes above the passive goes above the active income, and then suddenly we don't need this active income. So this active income then becomes a bit more voluntary, a bit more if I want to do it and I have the feeling to do it, then I'll do it. Like, for example, doctors, a lot of doctors, they like to work up to 70, 75, as long as the mental capacity allows them, because they enjoy the interaction with the patients. On the other hand, I found a lot of people in jobs, in engineering especially, they don't want to work in the same field forever for some reason. And the other part is what we should do when a person has a middle of a problem. They will be the problem. You will be the person. You'll be asked how we can solve this problem, because then when you know they ask you this question again and again and again, means that you are valuable and you develop the skills of solving that problem or in that situation or in this crisis. Then it's easily then to review yourself and you say, okay, now I can ask for more rewards, or I can ask for a better position. I hope you enjoyed this podcast regarding ensure your future income and increase your earning capacity. Till next time, have a good day. I hope you have enjoyed our recent episode Behind the Wealth, provided to you by Dimitri from Silver & Young Private Wealth. If you have any questions regarding our recent episode, please email us on pw, P for Peter, W for Word, @silveryoung.com.au. Until next time, have a good day and enjoy life.